Simon from WhatCulture here with the latest pro wrestling update. Now, two things to apologise for quickly. Firstly, sorry it took so long, but there is a reason for it, and news about that will be coming out soon. And secondly, I'm not 100% sure why the footage is a little bit grainy, but hopefully you can still see what's going on, so it's worth putting up. Now, I've got a big speech or a big chat with one of the trainers, Simon, at Al Snow's Wrestling Academy to end this video, and I thought it was quite an interesting chat, and hopefully if you're out there thinking about getting into wrestling training yourself, it will give you some insight into what goes into it. But I thought I'd be a floating voice over just a couple of minutes of footage that I've got of myself, and hopefully you can see, I hope so anyway, maybe you look at it and go, Miller, you still look terrible, which is fair enough. But hopefully you can see that I have started to progress. I think the clip I'm most proud of is the flip bump where I over-rotate. Now, obviously, over-rotating is not good. You want to land flat on your back, which I now have got better at. But given a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago, we were landing on our heads, and now we're over-rotating, to me, that shows growth. That shows progression, as does my bumping. I think my bumping in general, again, don't get me wrong, I've got so far to go, so much to work on and get right. But as they say at Al Snow's Wrestling Academy, repetition is everything. And the more I do these things, the more I feel like I'm growing into them and understanding how they work. And hopefully you can see from these clips that that's the case. And you can also see my terrible squats, which I watched back and got Simon, that's atrocious. I'll never do that again. Next time we do squats in the warm-up, I'll make sure I do them right. But yeah, here's my chat with one of the trainers from Al Snow's Wrestling Academy. I hope you enjoy it, and I promise you we'll have more videos about my journey very soon. Simon from WhatCulture here with Simon from Al Snow's Wrestling Academy. Right there. I don't have it on mine. I have a Nike tick. I need to get Simon written on my t-shirt. Just had what I think is my most productive session yet. I don't know whether you would necessarily agree with that, but I feel like I learned a lot today. And also, I feel like this is one of those sessions where I go away thinking, I've learned, I feel like I've progressed a little bit, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Yep, absolutely. We're putting you through your paces, you know, your bumps, and your movement in the air with your flips has come on leaps and bounds. You're much more solid now. You're controlling it, because remember we spoke.
Yeah.
And you finally nailed it, that you're controlling it. And, you know, you will sometimes over-rotate. A lot of people do because they're afraid of landing on their head.
I think it's just like the lesser of two evils now for me. If I over-rotate, it's better than landing on my head. But now it's become a thing in its own right. It's like, well, now I want to start landing flat.
Oh, you're landing flat. I mean, it's just that initial one, but it's like when you land on your head, it kind of like throws you. It's very true.
Yes, it certainly did.
We've all done it. I blame that for losing my head too.
Well, yeah, but also it's the ultimate way. Like you said, you make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Of course.
And it really did. You know, because I went away and I practiced the techniques we talked about just to make sure that I would go over. And surprise, when I came back, all of a sudden I started going over. So in a way, smashing my head open was the best thing I could have done.
It's belief as well, because you know I know you can do it, and it's just that just slight mental block. We got through it easily enough.
That's the thing. It's a weird thing, isn't it? As soon as you make one mistake, you go, you can't do it, even though you've done it 1,000 times before. Whereas now, that was so long ago, and there's so many successful flip bumps, it's starting to become second nature. But you can do it because you're doing it over and over again. And again, it's just the most rewarding feeling in the world. You go home and you just feel like you've achieved something. And I say it all the time, but it's true.
I mean, and you see, like when we do our little practice stuff, where we're telling you to sell out while you're selling, like the small cell, the medium cell, the large cell, or the extra large cell. It all kind of makes sense in the bumps that you're doing and how you're landing, and you know and it comes from within you as well, but it's a logic. Most people forget logic in wrestling because most of it is just logic.
Yeah.
If I land on my back, do I scream my head off, or do I like go? You don't necessarily. You know, it's just a common mistake people make when they sell. You know, it's an oversell.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're showing you different ways to do it.
It is though, and it's starting to feel, I mean, it's still a lot to learn obviously, but it's starting to feel more comfortable each and every week, or something needs to make more sense in my brain. And then when, you know, like we did a few sort of mini matches. 6 weeks ago I was terrified of mini matches, terrified.
Well, I chucked you in, do you remember?
Yeah, that's the thing, I was terrified.
Back in the day.
Yeah, and I still get nervous, because I want to make sure that I impress, but it's, I just feel more comfortable. I just feel more comfortable doing them. It's a wonderful thing to feel like you're progressing in that way.
Oh, you've definitely come on leaps and bounds, but as I said to you, we gave you a bit of a bollocking today for rushing, because it is.
Yeah, you got to slow down.
You feel like you got a rush.
Yeah.
You feel like everything's got a rush. Thiago really tells the same thing. Slow down. It's not, you have to run at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's just standing there like a coiled spring waiting to come in. We should bring him in. We should bring him in, actually. So but he knows, and we all know that it's just what looks good to us and what should represent, what should feed out to the audience. That they shouldn't just be watching like left, right all the time when they can't take anything in.
Yeah.
It's just you should, it's a logical, realistic pathway that people can follow. Because it's for
absolutely.
the audience, not for yourselves. And we keep trying to say this. Wrestlers, they get, not going to but they get a bit selfish in their ways. It's all about them.
Yeah.
It's about the audience. It's about the show, not an individual match. It's about a show.
Putting it all together, making it all work.
Should we bring him in?
You can bring him in.
Look at him. Look,
You can bring him in.
He's going to roll in. He's going to roll in the picture. He's going to roll in the picture. Wait.
Good morning, mate. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Good to see you. He's come a long way. Over there.
Well, yeah, I'm over there. Yeah. How did you feel it went today, man?
I think you're doing very well. You improve a lot, and your bumps are getting there. That's right. You start to improve every time you come here. So it's a pleasure to train you.
That's very kind of you, man. It's a pleasure to work with you both.
Thank
as
you
well,
very much.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
He's got a lot of experience, Thiago. That's why Al chose him for certain ways in doing things. And as I say, he knows what to pass on to you, and I think that as a class we're all learning, because you're working with different people in the class. Because that's
That
another
helps
aspect,
as well. Yeah,
right?
that helps massively because you work maybe necessarily better with others, but then in a way you want to work with the people you don't work with as well.
Absolutely.
To learn, what is it that I don't know to make it as smooth with that person, and that's something in itself. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge. And
I think today you get a very good lesson. How to trick a drop kick in the face.
I did take a drop kick in the face. I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it. I liked a bit of contact. I thought that was okay.
Well, next week you get some contact, don't worry.
Oh, I look forward
But
to
I
it.
think the other thing is that what you got to remember is when you go out to actually work, the likelihood of you knowing your partner that you're going to work with is going to be quite slim. So you need to get used to working with anyone.
Exactly.
And that's the thing we want to teach you here, how to be able to work in everywhere and be safe to do it. So I think you do it very well.
Yeah, it's definitely coming looking like a wrestler now.
Well,
That's the thing, it's looking like one.
Exactly. Yeah, believing in it yourself. Believe
Yeah,
in
because
yourself.
if you don't believe it, you don't kind of project.
Yeah.
I am a wrestler. Who's going to believe you?
Exactly, I totally agree.
Like that's why we always say, in there you're the star. So it's like
Act like one.
Act like one. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Not like a moon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this was the latest training vlog from Al Snow's Wrestling Academy, and
You can find us as well. Anyone wants to come along and follow Simon, what he does, and live the dream. If you've got the passion, the desire, and the heart, you get yourself down here because the rest we can show you, but we can't teach you that.
come down. Just search for Al Snow's Wrestling Academy, Facebook, Twitter, the internet. You'll find it. Maybe we'll see you down here soon.
Hoorah.